My guess is it's 150 up here. I don't know. I wanted to show you this thing for those of you who don't know these cars. This is, listen, that's the original generator off the Healy, all 30 pounds of it, whatever it may be. And believe it or not, they mounted the coil on top of it. So there she is in all her glory. I gotta get downstairs. I just wanted to show that. The weight, the drag, the whole thing. 1957. That's just got to go. You've got to go to an alternator. Now, just in contrast, that's the generator off the TR4 right there. About half that size, but still far heavier than an alternator. Oh my God. I'm gonna give a little quick tour underneath spats here. This is the Healy, and I just want you to look at the horror that this original oil pan has gone through. I mean, that thing's been whacked. So if you're thinking about getting a good aftermarket, well, even back there, a good aftermarket alloy one, you might want to reconsider that, because if you hit anything, it's going to just fracture it. This thing has less than 4 inches of clearance under it. There is, if I need to change that, I wanted to look at that. That is the actuator for the overdrive there. I think it's okay. And alright, she's a little leaky back here. But if that's all you get out of it, I'm not going to complain about that. And, oh, that bolt, that's already torn. It's not so important. And that starter is right there, that green thing. So that's got to come out from up top. There's some original green. It's amazing that the insides of these motors and gearboxes are painted and it still stays. There's the earthing strap, such as it is. A little bit of fraying to it, but you can see I backed it up with an aviation copper woven one. So I got the original one and a secondary earthing strap on this thing. That's important when it comes to alternators. There's a old petrified spider. And you want to wrap this system, because guess what? Your rear end is right above this resonator, or muffler in this case. Now it always kind of gets you that those are like 1.25 inches going in, 2 of them, and they come out in this like 1 inch. They come out small, and there's a reason for that in tuning. Mick hates the exhaust system on this thing, but I think it's rather elegant. And ooh, there's some tape from where I painted. I can't reach it because of all that stuff in the way, but it don't matter if I just now saw it. It's not a big thing. And then you got that looks good, my little stay. This has one of the shortest, and there's another one of those angle drives for your speedometer. This thing has one of the shortest drive shafts in history, but you actually can get it out without taking the axle out or anything. And back here is where the war wound was. So this cable right here is a battery cable. And it looks like I am heading for disaster there, doesn't it? Well, let's put something there, because there has been previous disaster here. Up in here there is I gotta get the torch under here and get some of this mess out of this car. So I better do something about that. I got the sheathing on it. Sadly, it's on the wrong side. So if that earths out, you're hooked up directly to the battery. And in this car, there's your fuel pump up there. Okay, so let me get the torch under here and clean up some stuff. And then these are going to be very short days at 95 degrees in here. Very, very short. Oh, I went ahead and put new, larger jets in the bottom. I've done that, so that's been done a million times on different things. Here is this thing, the D713 regulator out of the AC Delco with the bridge on it. And so I've got the D680s coming. So we'll look forward to that. I am considering not using LEDs on my ignition warning lamps when I get them. When I get the new regulators. I don't know. I'll see how it works. I don't think it really much matters. I will take something a little brighter. Okay, and then let's think about that thing. So I'm hoping that I will be able to get the ignition light in this to work. So I'll have oil pressure, main beam, and ignition, although the speedometer, odometer in this car doesn't work because it's a Mustang transmission. I'd like to see that thing glow red. And there is an ignition light right in the middle of the dash that has, as long as I've had it, has never worked. I think that generator I just showed you probably, I think I remember it needed a rebuild. It wasn't worth it. That's a turn signal lamp. The ignition, there's high beam. Isn't there an ignition lamp here? That's a turn signal lamp. Oh, there's the ignition lamp way over here. I didn't even know where it was in this car. It's right there. It says ignition right there on it. Now, I had those rebuilt at a place that we all know starts with an N. I don't believe it's possible to run into people that are more arrogant than they are. You know, it's like these guys who make the big demonstrations when they make a touchdown or something. You know, act like you've been there. You act like it's just what you do, because it is just what you do. I've been messing with this thing, and that little stud right here that I didn't really know what it did, now I do know what it does. It goes right to the rectifier. So if I was you, I wouldn't mess with that thing. Not exactly sure why they would do that, but I'm sure they had their reasons for whatever they might be. Let's see if I can show you. It's that stud right there. So be careful of that thing. Put a little bit of high melting point grease down in there to make that happy. And the other thing that I don't quite understand is this bolt right here. I mean, it goes in there a mile. This bolt right here that I'm going to use for a ground, I mean, it literally would go in there like too far for me. I need something about half that long. So yeah, that really, maybe if I guess I could use it. Let's put a big high lock washer on that thing. I've got my 2 leads with diodes I made and tested them, and they're fine. Test them before you solder them, and then test them after to make sure you didn't overheat them. And I always double shrink tube in circumstances like that. So that's actually for 2 alternators coming up, and don't let that roll off your desk. So I need to find another one of these anyway, because the Healy doesn't have one. Okay, I found some shorter ones, and I learned something else too. This is metric right here. This is not standard, so don't be fooled by imitations. And I guess I'll go get some high locks for that too. So, but that is not standard thread. That is metric. So with a blend, just like all kind of stuff these days, it's a mutt. I'm running a couple of different alternator themes here, but let's just stick with the rebuilding of the 2. We're probably going to only be able to test one, and that'll be on Spitfire. There, I feel whole again. I have a 5-in-1 tool. I think that's probably exactly what that, little simpler than what I had. I like that. I like those little tools. I like at least looking at them. Oh, let's see what I got here. Oh, that's old stuff. So we have that's carburetor parts for Lucy, for the Weber. But this is the main thing today. These finally came. I don't have the boxes here, but I don't need them. These are D680s. You can tell that they're not bridged. So I'm going to try to wire these up and get the lights to work. One's for the Healy. I don't think I need this diagram, but it is kind of cool to have it. So whatever you got there. Let's see what these things talk about 10S. I think that's what I got. So since I have multiples of these alternators, and I'm going to just completely replace the one on the bonnable, so that'll be a different topic of what we're going to be doing here. And there is that one there. So that one goes here, and then we're going to go back over here and rebuild this one. Now see here, I guess I better write D680 on there. So there's the comparison. There's the one that's bridged, and there's the one that's not. So this is for your one wire. Now I want to talk about something else too. I always want to talk about something else right when you want to talk about something else. I have learned, and I don't think, I guess I'll use these. I don't know. I'll probably make my own. Make another run at them. So here's my diode in line that'll come off the number one of these. I think that's 2 and that's 1, but I can't remember. So there's my one-way flow. I'm going to use, it'll end up flying across from one of these, and where did I put them? There's my Zener diodes. I know that I have my electrical box over here, but I have learned that it is important to know where your stuff is. Let me see if I can find, oh, here's the, okay. That's going to just end up in the junk box. Let's see if I can find them. Hang on a second. So what I've got here is, they're way on the other table. I've got my resistor kit, and seems with my attitude I don't really need one, but so I need I have learned things. So this is an LED indicator light, and I'm going to just tell you what the resistance is on the 194 LED lamp, because I need both hands to do this because I got to hold 3 things. So it's somewhere less than 1 ohm of resistance on this. I have learned that if you don't have at least 10 ohms of resistance, you can't kick your alternator on. You need that. So this wouldn't be enough. And even if you had, what's a 194 resistance? What do you think that's going to be? Maybe 3 if you're lucky. Let's see if I can do this thing. So I got no problems unfolding these. So let's just see what this is. Alright, and we're still on ohms. And a 194 offers you a little bit more than that. It offers you about 4 ohms. That might just be enough to kick your alternator on, but if the light bulbs burn out, then your alternator will not be excited about that, which means it won't come on. I think I got my finger over the microphone. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump up the resistance here, and this will have to go across the planet here. So we're going to get some wire. We're going to do some more wiring, and let's put this in a place where we won't lose it and just keep it with the diodes over here. Okay. So let's do some wiring. Let's just mock this thing up and then use my battery here and power it and see how it looks, how it works, and all that other stuff. So that's going to be fun. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Okay, well, I do have the undisturbed alternator over here, and to make sure that I get it wired correctly, I want to make sure I get that wired correctly. So, okay, let me write D680 on this too. want you to see this in its entirety. What we got here is kind of a mishmash of mess. So we have, I think I've got enough light here, but I can't really tell. Well, we have this 194 LED light. We have soldered onto the connections there. I have a 10 ohm resistor bridged across here. So if this light burns out or doesn't offer enough resistance to cause the alternator to come on this wheel, okay, and it's back far enough to be out of the way, and I'm going to tape all that off in a second. So one end goes to however you want to switch to your key, however you feel like doing that. I have my way, but everybody got their own way. Now this is the part, this is the connector that goes into the number 1 port on the alternator, and I just put that in there to make a bridge. So what we got here is we want current to go this way. So this is what happens. So current will go that way and light the light. Okay, now if you switch hands, current won't go the other way. See? So my diode in here is working. The only thing there is just a connector. That's just a connector there. I've got to work hard to stay in the middle of the camera. So there's a diode in here, there's your connector there, and just to make sure, we want current to go towards the connector, and then thus give me my light, and then that. Now this is not going to be on, but for, you know, a few seconds, you know, so it's nothing horrible's going to happen here. So all we got to do now, and I've already checked it, this will go Dr. Tongue's 3D house of LED light. Yeah. This will go into the little ignition portal in the back of the speedometer. So let's get this all secure and pull this through. We can lose this thing now. I like keeping things like that so I can test. I got a bunch of things like that come in different kits. So, you know, just if you find something like that, it'll just help you in testing, especially if you put shrink tube around your connectors. So we're doing pretty good here, and soon we will have the alternator rebuilt and clocked correctly, and we'll be ready to turn the key on this thing. That didn't work. You can't just go and change regulators out, and I'll show you why. This is the one wire. What's this one out of? I think that's the Healy one. No, that's Spitfire. Doesn't matter, both the same. And what do you see here? I noticed it right off. Well, this one, this is the D713, has this, and the D680 doesn't. So what I tried to do was just put it in and not hook that up and hope that it would charge, and it doesn't. So the D680s are bust, at least in this particular circumstance. So I got another trick up my sleeve. It's supposed to be here today anyway, so we'll see how it works. And if it works, I probably will be happy about that, because this alternator is 10 years old. And so anyway, let's I'm going to switch it back to, I got a 680 in here now. I'm going to switch it back to this and make sure I didn't blow something up. I didn't hear anything go crack, pop, nothing like that. But when they say one wire, that's what they mean, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's that American, whatever it is, part number thing for the 11 volt cutoff. That's about half as much as a rebuilt alternator. It's all, you know, it's all up to you. It's all, you know, make your own decisions or learn to live with it. But dadgummit, I want the ignition light to work in these cars, and I am going to make that happen one way or the other. And I wish I hadn't been, you know, steered wrong by somebody, but I know he was trying to help me with this one wire thing, but I really just want the ignition lights to work. She's all back the way she was. I've just done some special wiring but that's about as far as it's gone. So let's see if I messed it up or not. It's not going to matter too much to me either way if I did. Let's get some light on that. So we ought to have 12 volts. I hope she'll bump up. I don't know. No. Oh yeah, there she goes. Yeah, she's charging. She's charging too much, in my opinion. Well, at least I didn't mess it up, and that was key. Let's see if I messed anything else up, reaching up here and doing wiring and whatnot. No, well that's a bright one. Those are bright. Those are LEDs. You know, it doesn't look like it, but those are level, and I can't see much, I guess, my general low light thing. But the curvature of the earth here, the curvature of the dash, makes them look a little uneven, but it's okay. Oh, there's my oil light. That always takes a while. That always makes me feel so good. Well, I did okay. So let's see. There's 5 seconds. I love doing this. I guess if you watch some of my previous videos, and I know the engine's cold, but that's 15 seconds. 20. That's 30 seconds. There you go. 30 seconds. That's pretty cool. I'll take it.